Good afternoon from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well on a bitterly cold day coming down from down here in the countryside. If you hear the dogs barking, don't blame me, right? Now, I've spoken about Jason VELLA from a prison point of view. The one thing, I suppose it still involves prison a little bit, but the one thing I haven't talked about is him on the outside. And to all intents and purposes, is a major figure, right? Now, one of the maddest cases that I ever read about, listened to, heard day to day, because the trial lasted about 4 months, right? At Woolwich Crown Court, you know, Belmarsh, you got the tunnel that leads to Woolwich Crown Court. I think there was about 10 codees. I think only 2 of them walked out, right? Now, the build up to all this, right, is some, maybe you lot know already, but when they're talking about Jason VELLA and the alleged torturing, right, let's remember this, that those that were witnesses against him, right, plus a team in Holland who gave evidence behind the screen, right, they were all meant to be part of his team. Now, it is alleged, right, in folklore, storytelling, whatever you want to call it, that Jason VELLA had the whole of Romford to Southend locked off for whatever business he was doing, right? Allegedly. Now, one of his foot soldiers, regnunn, stole off him, right? Run off to Scotland with some MDMA, allegedly. Now, don't want to pay him. Now, a major figure from Glasgow phoned Jason VELLA and told him the whereabouts of regnunn. Now, I don't know how this could have happened, but it is alleged that Jason VELLA hired a private plane and went down to Scotland and got Nunn and brought him back to Basildon, a place, I don't know whose it was, but it was under observation at that time anyway, right? So it's alleged to have got tortured in there. Some funny things happened, right? But he got to jump out the window and break his legs and somehow crawled into another garden, and the 10 or 15 people that were in that house legged it all. Everybody run away, right? So that was one thing. Now, the interesting thing is, right, even his other foot soldiers, so I hear, robbed off him too. So he's gonna got them too, right? Jason the Hat, Jason the Hat, VELLA, right? And so the trial, it turns out, they're all going against him, of course. But I wonder who the Glasgow figure was. But imagine this one. The prime witness, regnunn, right, was a witness for the police. Stole a police car. Robbed a flower shop boy, right, who was about 14 or 15 years old. And the police got VELLA, got Nunn and brought him back. But during the trial, something I've never ever heard or seen before, right, is that they got, because counsel for VELLA and co was saying that, hold on, he's robbed the flower boy. So what about that then? And he stole a police car, blah, 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 blah. But the judge didn't allow it into the case. But what he said was, what the judge said, right, Essex police involved in this as well, again, interesting, is that they said, no, counsel are not allowed to question regnunn, but you're allowed to question the little boy, right? So they questioned the little boy, but the jury are thinking, really, no one listened, right? So really, in reality, if he's done that to the flower boy, and then the flower boy, the police have been blatantly seen to tell the flower boy, retract the statement, and counsel find out about it. But then it all gets found out, but the defence are allowed to question the flower boy, right? To see, so that it pours regnunn's evidence into question, right? Because it's a wrong one, really, right? But they still didn't want to listen. The judge still allowed it in, said, nah, he's a kid and blah, 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 blah. No, the jury, I think, were asking, so why can't they question none then? And all that. But it still got swept under the carpet. They questioned the policeman as well. Swept under the carpet. Now, Jason VELLA, there was 7 of them, I think 8 of them, 7 or 8 of them got found guilty. And real botched up case, this, you know. They were just after them, full stop, right? I think they got found guilty, like they would do, and he got 16 or 18 years. But what I'm trying to say to you is that on the outside, Jason VELLA was a major, major figure. Now, I've got a story, right, but I don't know whether to do it, where Jason VELLA's old man had something with Billy Blundell, right? If you want me to say it, bring it up, but I wasn't there. So it's not factual, but other people was. So there was a lot of muddled up. These are the bits I never told you about what I knew on the outside, from all the information I gathered over a long period of time. But the truth is, they railroaded Jason VELLA. All right, the alleged torturing and all that. I get that. It can be horrific and that kind of stuff. But sometimes I think I've been a bit harsh on Jason VELLA because the couple of meets I had with him. Sometimes I think that if you've got a team round you when you're working with them and he'll go the other way on you and start robbing you, well, why would you want to think that you could rob Jason VELLA on the outside and think you can get away with it? That's the funny thing. You asked me to disclose what I knew about that case. But if you ever wanted to know, that case was, because when they arrested him, do you know what all they had on Jason VELLA? Was half a joint. That was all the evidence they produced during the trial, apart from the Holland supposed drugs lot that were hiding behind the screens. And regnunn, no one's allowed to talk to him when he was the major witness. It's fucking mad. I wonder who the figure was from Glasgow, boy. That one baffles me a little bit. But that's what, you asked me what I knew about that case, and I just told you.